The rain soaked through my jacket, but I didn't care. I stood under the flickering street lamp outside her apartment, heart pounding in my chest. My fingers trembled as I held the velvet box. When the door opened, Sophie stepped out, umbrella in hand. "Ethan," she said, surprised. "What are you doing here?" "I needed to see you," I said, trying to sound calm. "Can we talk?" She hesitated, then nodded. We walked a few steps to the edge of the sidewalk where the streetlight cast a soft glow. I took a deep breath. "I know things haven't been perfect between us," I began. "But I love you. I've always loved you, Ethan." I dropped to one knee, opened the box, and held out the ring I had saved months for. "Will you marry me?" Her face froze. The silence stretched longer than the storm. Then she laughed. It wasn't nervous laughter. It wasn't surprised. It was cruel. "Oh, Ethan," she said, shaking her head. "You really thought I'd say yes?" My throat tightened. I thought, "We loved each other." "Did," she said, stepping back. "But love doesn't pay rent. Love doesn't buy cars or designer bags." "I don't care about that," I said, voice cracking. "I care about us? Well, I care about my future," she snapped. "And you're not in it? You're choosing money over me?" "I'm choosing someone who can give me the life I deserve." Stood up slowly, fists clenched. "Lucas?" She didn't answer, just looked away. "So it's true," I said, my voice low. "You're with him. He makes 6 figures a month, Ethan. He owns a penthouse. I thought you hated guys like him. I used to. Then I realized I was tired of struggling, tired of waiting for you to make it someday. I was working for us, Sophie. I was trying. Well, I'm done waiting." She turned to go, but I stepped forward. "See why you stopped answering my calls? Why you've been distant for weeks?" She looked back at me. "Don't make this harder than it has to be." I stared at the ring in my hand. "So that's it?" "That's it." Held out the box one last time. "Then take this. Throw it. Burn it. I don't want to keep something meant for someone else." She glanced at it, then took the box and dropped it in the gutter. The splash was louder than thunder. "Goodbye, Ethan," she said. She turned and walked away, heels clicking against wet concrete. I stood there, frozen, rain dripping from my hair, heart pounding in my ears. That ring had cost me every spare dollar I had, but her words cost me everything else. I don't remember walking home. All I remember is collapsing on the couch. Soaked and shivering, my phone buzzed Maya. I didn't answer. She texted, "Did you do it?" I stared at the screen, then typed, "She chose someone else." Her reply came fast. "I'm so sorry, Ethan. She doesn't deserve you." Maybe, but that didn't make the ache go away. I turned my phone over and stared at the ceiling. She laughed, I whispered to myself. She actually laughed. A week passed. Then 2. At night I kept replaying that moment in my head. Her laugh, the way she looked at me like I was small, like I was a fool. I stopped eating much. Called in sick to work. Even Maya came by. "You need to snap out of it," she said. "She was never good for you." I loved her. "I know, but she didn't love you back." "Not really. She used to." "No, Ethan, she used you." "Now she's with that smug jerk Lucas Ford." I didn't reply. I couldn't. But something shifted in me that night. I sat at my desk, opened my laptop, and pulled up the old resume I'd been too afraid to update. Then I looked at the wall, where I'd pinned my mother's favorite quote, "Let them go, and show them who you become without them." I stared at it for a long time. Then I started typing one day. "Sophie will look back and realize what she threw away. Not just the ring, but me. Dude, you look like a zombie." Maya plopped down across from me at the cafe table, stirring her iced coffee like she was trying to summon a demon. I barely lifted my eyes. "I haven't slept." Clearly, she leaned forward. "When was the last time you showered?" "Don't know." "Tuesday." "It's Saturday, right?" She sipped, then frowned. "Ethan, she doesn't deserve this much of your energy. You're spiraling." "Fine, no you're not. You lost your job last week." "I didn't lose it. I was let go for missing too many days after Sophie dumped you." "Ethan, that's not fine, that's tragic." I just need time. You've had time. She laughed in your face and left for that money-spraying trust fund clown. Should be furious. I am. Then act like it. Get up, shave, apply for something, anything. I stared into my cup. What's the point? She groaned and stood. Rock bottom isn't the end, you know? But keep digging and you'll find the basement. I went home, not really sure. Why? I didn't have anything else to do. I dropped my keys on the table and flopped on the couch. The place still smelled like old takeout. I pulled out the velvet box from the drawer. I don't even know why I kept it. The ring looked dull now, useless. Just like me. My phone buzzed. Maya again. You alive? Barely. Did you apply anywhere? I didn't reply. I opened my laptop and started scrolling through job boards. Marketing assistant, junior sales rep, barista, security guard, senior intern, Whitaker Enterprises. I clicked it. Probably too good for me, but I filled it out anyway. Resume. Cover. Letter references. Hit send. Then closed the laptop and threw the ring in the drawer again. The next morning, my phone rang. I nearly dropped it when I saw the number. Unknown, I answered. Hello? Hi, is this Ethan Carter? Yes? This is Melissa from Whitaker Enterprises. We received your application for the senior intern position. I sat up straight. Oh yes, I did apply. We were impressed by your experience and cover letter. Can you come in tomorrow for an interview? Yes, absolutely. I'll be there. Date. 10 a.m. Bring a copy of your resume. I hung up and stared at the screen. Then I texted Maya. I have an interview. She replied in 2 seconds flat. Yes, finally. Proud of you, zombie boy. The next day, I walked into Whitaker Enterprises, heart pounding. I wore the only suit I had wrinkled, a little tight. The receptionist smiled. Mr. Carter, Mr. Whitaker will see you now. Wait, Mr. Whitaker himself? I followed her to the corner office. It was massive. Glass walls, city view, minimalist desk. Then I saw him gray-haired, sharp eyes, powerful presence. Ethan Carter, he said, standing to shake my hand. Take a seat. He glanced at my resume. Tell me, why'd you apply for an intern role after holding a senior position before? I hesitated. Honestly, 'cause I hit rock bottom? He raised an eyebrow. My fiancé left me. I lost focus. Lost my job. I stopped caring. But I'm done feeling sorry for myself. He leaned back. That's blunt. I figured you'd prefer honesty. I do. Silence stretched for a moment. Then he nodded. I like hungry people, and you look starving. I blinked. Excuse me? Desperate people work harder than comfortable ones. You've been knocked down. I want to see if you know how to get back up. I'm already standing, sir. He chuckled. You're hired. I stared. Seriously? You start Monday? Walked out of that building feeling 10 pounds lighter. Maya called the second she saw my text. Y2 got the job? That job? I did. Ethan, that's amazing. I know. She paused. Proud of you, thanks. Feels unreal. Keep going, she said. Don't stop now. I looked up at the sky. For the first time in weeks, I noticed the sun. Maybe the basement had stairs leading back up after all. Mr. Whitaker wants you in the boardroom. Now. I looked up from the pile of folders. My hands were stained with ink, eyes bloodshot, and tie halfway undone. Did he sound angry? Melissa rolled her eyes. He never sounds anything. Just go. I straightened my tie and ran a hand through my hair. Wish me luck. You'll need more than luck. Ethan, Mr. Whitaker said, not looking up from his tablet. Yes, sir. You've been here 6 months? Yes, sir. You've tripled productivity in your department. It's built 2 systems from scratch. And somehow, you're still. Getting coffee for people? I didn't mind, because now you're managing the interns. I blinked. Wait, what? You're promoted? Effective immediately. I don't know what to say. Don't say anything. Just keep working like your life depends on it. I did. I came in early, left late, ate lunch at my desk. Said yes to every task, no matter how small. Maya noticed. Machine man. She called me one night over the phone. Do you even Sleep anymore? Sometimes? Ethan, you're doing amazing, but don't burn out. I can't afford to slow down. She paused. Right. I didn't answer. 1 year passed. Then another. 3 promotions, a new office, my own assistant. I even bought a new suit. And for the first time, when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see the guy who got laughed at in the rain. I saw someone becoming powerful, someone I almost didn't recognize. Mr. Carter? I turned toward the voice. Yes. There's a new hire reporting to you today. She's in the lobby. Name Ava Clark. I nodded. Send her in. 2 minutes later, the door opened, and so did my past. But not in the way I expected. Hi, she chirped, walking in with oversized glasses, bright red heels, and a coffee cup that looked bigger than her face. You must be Ethan Carter. I am. And you're Ava Clark. Ouch. HR said I'll be your assistant/chaos manager. I see you're early. I like making impressions. You just did. Grinned. Want coffee? Or do you prefer peace and silence? Silence, usually. But coffee works. You got it, boss? She spun on her heel and vanished. Maya texted an hour later. How's the new hire? Tornado and lipstick, that bad? Actually, it's kind of funny that evening I stayed late again. As I was packing up, Ava peeked into the office. You always work this late. Only when I want to get ahead. It must be lonely. Sometimes, well, I'll bring snacks next time. Working in silence is fine. But silent and hungry, cruel? I chuckled. You're not what I expected. I get that a lot. The next morning, she came in with donuts, coffee, and 10 questions about my schedule. Efficiency is sexy, she said. I plan to be dangerously useful. You might be. But while she talked, I noticed something on my calendar. A meeting request. A name I hadn't seen in 2 years. Sophie Lane. Transferred from admin. Pool. Assigned to my department. My fingers froze over the keyboard. My door had opened to success. Now it was opening to something else. I looked up from my desk and dropped my pen. She stood there, holding a coffee tray. Sophie, she froze. I stood slowly. My throat dried out in an instant. You're here, I said, voice barely steady. She swallowed? I didn't know. You didn't know what? I asked. Didn't know it was my office? Or didn't know I work here? Her eyes flicked to the floor. They just told me to bring this. I didn't see the name. I stared at her. She hadn't changed much. Still polished. Still beautiful. Just dimmer, right? I muttered. Must have been quite a surprise. In. Didn't expect to walk in and see the guy you laughed at holding your job now? She flinched. Ethan, I don't. She stepped forward. Please, let me explain. There's nothing to explain. There is, she insisted, setting the coffee down. I didn't know you were this Ethan Carter. I only applied because Lucas left. No, she snapped, then softened. I mean, he did, but that's not why I raised a brow. Really? I needed work. I was desperate. I didn't come looking for you. Still found me. I didn't plan it. Well, I said, grabbing the coffee she brought, Karma doesn't care about your plans. The door swung open. Mr. Whitaker walked in, clapping his hands. There she is. He said, grinning. You two met already? Oh, yes, I said dryly. We go way back. Sophie stared at him, stunned. You know each other? He asked. Used to, I said. Still do, Sophie added quietly. Mr. Whitaker looked amused. Well, I didn't realize it'd be awkward. Just needed someone dependable in your department. She came recommended. Of course she did, I muttered. She's your new assistant, Ethan. I looked at Sophie. She avoided my eyes. I trust that won't be a problem, he asked. No, sir, I said. Great. Carry on. He left. Silence filled the room, so she began. No, we work. That's it. Ethan, I'm sorry. I said, that's it. She nodded, picking up a folder from the tray. Here's your meeting agenda. I took it. Thanks. She lingered a moment. You look different. I am. Heard about your promotion and the projects. You've done well. Must be strange. Watching me succeed. I'm not here to ruin things, and don't bring the past into this office. She looked hurt. I didn't come to hurt you. You already did. Long ago. She stepped back. I'll be at my desk. Good. As she turned, Maya's voice echoed in my mind. Would you take her back if she crawled? I looked at the coffee she brought. Same brand I used to get. For her, now she was the one delivering it. No, I wouldn't take her back, but I would let her see. It's the man she threw away. Every single day. Ethan, can we talk? I didn't even look up. We're here to work, Sophie, not talk about the past. No, I cut in. You don't know. You had your say 2 years ago, remember? I can't build a future with someone like you. Those were your words. She flinched. I didn't mean I said no. She stood there holding a folder like she didn't know what to do next. Put that on my desk and get back. To yours, I'm trying to make things right. I'm trying to run a department. Guess which matters more here? She lowered her eyes. Right. Sorry, don't apologize. Just do your job. She placed the folder down, hands trembling slightly, then walked out without another word. Maya texted me an hour later. How's she doing? Like a ghost? Quiet? Shaky? Messes up my schedule twice a day? You okay? I'm fine. But I was. Crawled under my skin like cold water in my veins. She didn't talk much. Didn't argue, just worked clumsily. She spilled coffee on the conference notes. Printed the wrong agenda. Forgot to see CA's manager on a client email. Each time, she'd whisper a soft, broken sorry. Each time, I'd say nothing. Later that day, she knocked on my door. I sighed. What now? I reprinted the contract drafts. And I fixed. The calendar mistake? Should have done it right the first time. I know, I'm just not used to all this yet. We'll get used to it. She hesitated. Ethan, I stood. Don't, her voice cracked. I'm not the same person I was. Neither am I. But only one of us came back crawling. Her eyes welled, but she blinked them clear. I deserve that. Good because you do. She nodded and left. That night, I went home, dropped my keys on the table, and sat on the edge of my bed. The room was silent, too silent. I opened the drawer without thinking. The ring still sat there, dull, heavy, cold. I held it between my fingers. Thought about all the times I'd imagined her wearing it now. Couldn't even imagine her standing beside me, without resentment coiling in my chest. I walked to the trash bin, hovered, my hand clenched tighter around the box. Just throw it, I whispered. But I didn't. I closed it and dropped it back into the drawer. Almost, but not yet. Check your phone now. Maya's message popped up as I stepped into my office. I sat down, opened the link she sent, and stared at the headline. Lucas Ford accused of fraud bankruptcy filed. I blinked. Scrolled another headline. Investors sue Lucas Ford over failed crypto venture. Another. From penthouse to courtroom. The fall of Lucas Ford. I leaned back and let out a short laugh. Something funny? I looked up. Sophie stood there, a file clutched in her hand. Nothing important, I said. She walked in slowly, placed the file on my desk, then hesitated. You saw the news I did? He left me, she said softly, voice thin. As soon as the money dried up? I didn't reply. I was just discarded. Still, I said nothing. She turned to leave. I guess I deserved it. I didn't argue. Later, Ava came in, lips pursed. So, the ex is crying in the washroom. I glanced up. What? Sophie. I passed her near the sink, red eyes, tissue in hand, whispering your name, by the way. Ava, I'm just the messenger. She plopped a folder on my desk and smirked. Want me to key Lucas's car next time I see him? He doesn't have a car anymore. Oof. Karma's working overtime? You're left humming. Maya called that night. I can't believe it, she said. That smug jerk's empire is crumbling. Yeah. You sound off. I'm not. Ethan. I'm fine. Do you still love her? The question hit harder than I expected. I don't know. Be honest. I'm trying, because she clearly regrets it. She should. But do you? I paused. Sometimes Maya sighed. Don't let her tears pull you back. You've come too far, I know. But it still hurts. The next morning, I found Sophie already at her desk, eyes puffy, lips pressed tight. She didn't speak, didn't look at me, and I didn't ask because I still didn't have an answer, Ethan. Ava whispered, leaning toward me during the meeting. She's shaking. I turned slightly. Sophie stood at the front of the boardroom, gripping the remote like it was keeping her upright. Her voice trembled as she read the second slide. Her hands fumbled. The screen flashed the wrong chart. She's gonna lose it, Ava murmured. Should I step in? I nodded. Take over. Ava jumped to her feet. Let me help real quick, everyone, she said, moving smoothly to the front. Sophie will hand me the clicker. Thanks, girl. Sophie didn't argue. She looked at me as she passed by, as glassy shoulders low. I didn't meet her gaze. Later, as I packed up for the day, I got that familiar feeling like eyes watching me. I turned. She was standing at the edge of the parking lot, arms crossed tightly over her chest. Sophie, I said, unlocking my car. Please, she whispered. Don't go yet. What do you want? I need to talk. We already talked. No. You talked. You told me to do my job. You told me to stay out of your way. But I can't anymore, I sighed. You're making this worse. She stepped forward. Ethan, I made a mistake. Much is clear. No, you don't understand. Light. Understand perfectly. You picked someone richer, someone flashier, someone with more power, and when it all blew up in your face, you came crawling back. She flinched. It wasn't about money. I laughed once. You sure? Because your timing is incredible. Never stopped loving you. I paused. Wind pushed her hair across her face. She didn't brush it away. I was scared, she said. You were struggling. I didn't believe we could make it. Thought I needed security. You wanted easy. I wanted safe. Lucas promised that, but he lied. And when things went bad, he didn't even look back. You never stopped rising. So now I'm good enough? No. She shook her head. You were always good enough. I just couldn't see it. I looked away. My keys clicked in my hand. Bill said, love wasn't enough. I was wrong. Then why now, I asked. Why not before? Why not after I got my first promotion, or the second? I waited until everything in your life crumbled. Because I hated myself for what I did. I thought you hated me too. You were... Right. She blinked fast. You really don't feel anything? I didn't answer, not even a little, honestly, I said, stepping closer, voice low. I don't know if I feel nothing or if I feel everything, and I'm just too tired. To untangle it, tears slipped down her cheeks. I'm sorry, I know. She reached out, just barely. Can we ever know? She froze. I opened the door. You had me. And you threw me out like trash in the rain. I didn't mean to, but you did it anyway. She let out a soft, shaky breath. I got in, shut the door, and rolled down the window. Sophie, I said. She looked up, eyes pleading. This isn't revenge. She nodded slowly. I know. I'm just done. Then I drove off without looking back. Effective next month, Mr. Whitaker said, raising his glass. I'll be stepping down as CEO. The room fell silent. Then a few gasps, claps, whispers. I didn't move. And the board has agreed unanimously, he continued, smiling at me, that Ethan Carter will be taking my place. Every head turned. Sophie's did too. But she didn't meet my eyes. Congratulations, Jason muttered, clapping me on the back. From intern to CEO? Man, that's a movie. Still processing, I replied. You deserve it. Across the room, Sophie slipped out the side door. I found her waiting in the lobby after hours, coat in her hands, a small velvet box. Clutched tightly. I didn't know one else to do this, she said quietly. I looked at the box. What is that? You already know. My jaw tightened. You kept it? She nodded. Every day. Sat on my dresser like a reminder. Of what I lost? I thought you threw it. I didn't have the courage. Why bring it now? Because you're moving forward, she whispered. And I've been stuck. I took a slow breath. Sophie, I hoped someday I could give it back. Not because I had to, but because it was time. She held it out. Her hands didn't shake this time. I took it. It felt lighter than I remembered. Or maybe I'd grown stronger. We were never meant to last, I said. She swallowed. Maybe not. You, I added. For breaking me. Her brows furrowed. You gave me a reason to rise. Tears gathered in her eyes. I never wanted to be your reason for pain. Sometimes pain teaches you more than love ever could. She looked away. Do you hate me? No, I said. But I don't love you either. Not anymore. She closed her eyes. Then this is goodbye. I nodded. It already was. Outside, the night air was cool, quiet. I slipped the box into my coat pocket and walked to my car. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. Closure doesn't always come with forgiveness, but it came. As I stepped through the glass doors, the room rose. Applause thundered. People I barely knew smiled like we were old friends. Maya stood front row, beaming. She mouthed, "You did it?" I gave her the slightest nod. Behind the crowd, Sophie stood. Quiet. Still, eyes locked on me. I didn't look away. CEO Ethan Carter, Mr. Whitaker, announced proudly, clapping once. Let's hear it again. More applause. Flashes from phones. A few whistles. I raised my hand. Thank you. Started here as an intern, I said. I fetched coffee, filed documents, stayed late when no one asked. Light chuckles rippled. Today I don't just sit in this chair, I own it. Maya smiled wider. Sophie blinked rapidly. After the crowd dispersed, Maya pulled me aside. How's it feel? Strange? Good strange or dangerous strange? Both. She grinned. You earned every second. Thank you. She patted my arm. I knew you'd make it. Even when you didn't. Back at my desk, the one with the skyline view, I sat down slowly. My name was already engraved on the door. Ethan, Carta CEO. I ran my fingers across the edge of the desk. Power didn't feel like fireworks. It felt like peace. An email alert. Blinked. Subject. Schedule confirmed. Prepared by Sophie Lane. I closed it without reading. She knew who she was working for now, and I knew exactly who. I had become the boy who was once left in the rain. He owned the storm now. She's gone, Ava said, leaning on my doorframe. I looked up. What do you mean she quit? Packed her things this morning. Left this on your desk. She handed me a folded envelope. No perfume. No lipstick. Stains. Just my name. Inside, her handwriting was clean. Steady. You deserved better. I hope you find it someday. Sophie, no begging, no apologies this time. Just quiet grace. Maya called minutes later. Is it true? Yeah, I said. She left. Dramatic exit? No, just peace. She finally let go. Maybe we both did. She paused. You okay? I'm good. Ethan, really? I loved her once, I said. But I love myself more now. Maya exhaled. Took you long enough? I set the letter down and opened my drawer. The ring sat inside its box. Same velvet, same weight. I placed it on my desk, not as a memory of her, but of me. The me who begged in the rain, who questioned his worth, who broke and rebuilt. He was gone. I wasn't going back.